Hello there guys, it's Joey, and today we have a new tailor-made set plus 2 singular items by request. So I'm going to talk about everything all the way through. The orb is Light of the Stars and the set is Dawn of Trees, and I'm going to talk about all these goodies for a lovely lady who we've been getting to know. I'm going to move the set off first, and we're going to talk about the 2 singular items before we have a good talk and look at the individual items. Let's do Light of the Stars. I was in two minds. I was thinking of calling it Child of the Stars, because this is for a little one. So I'm in two minds. It's kind of Child of the Stars, it's kind of Light of the Stars. Maybe Child of the Stars then, because that's what I keep accidentally saying. Let's accidentally inverted commas. Right, so the spell orb is for a little one, for a little girl, and it is to protect the little one. And it actually follows a similar thread to the spell set, but it's not the same. The ingredients aren't the same. It focuses on the idea of light, and light came through in this set incredibly so again. And I used my now patented Joey magic with Dawn magic with presenting light to create both the orb and the set, because it was just talking and talking, and it had to be light and it had to be dawn, and I'll talk about that more with the set. And I was like, okay, and it's got to incorporate the dawn, but not be like the Diana dawn. It's got to be different. It's got to be standalone. It's got quite a few things that were requested in specifics, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the spell orb is for a little one, and for that purpose there is no charm on the outside of the orb, and I've done that so that it just removes any hazard of there being a little charm near little fingers. So there's no charm, and that's done on purpose, just for safety reasons. And we have the light coming through here with the pale yellow ribbon, and then hopefully you can see inside, and it's very much like a meadow, like light over a meadow, and that's basically the premise. Now there are a couple of tree magics work through this, and they are different tree magics to the couple of tree magics that are worked into the set. This is very much about the purity and presence of children. Children are pure, they are innocent, they are very fae-like almost, if you in their innocence, and that's talking about the fae that are on the little bit light side, because the fae can obviously be a little bit less pleasant, but it's that kind of whimsy aspect. It's very innocent, very gentle, very wide-eyed innocence, and to protect that energy needs to be sort of encapsulated by it. And I was just thinking, you know, like little rays of light all over this meadow, and it being perhaps a fae like flitting about in the energies and just protecting the little ones. And that's how Child of the Stars came to be. It's just very, very protective. It's almost otherworldly in its energies. It's almost as if you had crossed into the boundaries of a fae meadow, and no harm is going to come to the children there. That, you know, they are safe, they are protected, and that is the energy that wove itself through. It's just this incredible innocence to the spell orb. The little spell charm bag, as requested, has a little fox charm on. Please focus. Right, the little bag is obviously, it's already fully done. So it's not much to look at, but it's a little bit more masculine, and I wanted to keep it plain enough so it doesn't raise eyebrows, that it can just be a little bag that, you know, people don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what it is. But it's this rich purple, this regality, this sovereignty, this very, very protective masculine energy going through. And this one is completely different energy wise to everything else. This one is very, very masculine on purpose. It's for a young man, and it speaks of two trees in particular, and again they're completely different trees to what are in the others. Trees that go through the whole thing, and that's by my design and by request as well. And this one is the more warrior-like trees, but not the most warrior trees. Does that make sense? It's middle of the range, so it's very, very protective, very, very sturdy, very, very shielding, but not aggressive, because like it's not blackthorn, for example, because blackthorn is much more of an aggressive energy, whereas this just protects and guards and keeps safe. And like I said to the lady, I'm not going to charge you for that one because I'm nice like that, basically. Right. If I do say so myself. Right, the set, we're going to put everything into shot, hopefully. We're going to talk about it, and then I'll show you the individual items. So I'm on the floor rather than on the working altar at the minute, so I'm trying to balance things, and the floor is not flat. There's stuff going on the working altar, that's why. Right, so 4 voted, 2 pillars, 1 spell oil, and 1 spell herbal blend was requested. I may have to stop in a minute and plug the camera in. I didn't think this video was going to be 15 minutes. Okay, Dawn of the Trees is the spell set, and the request was it have a druidic nature. There was a particular energy of tree that was requested, and it was very, very druidic, very, very Celtic in theme was requested. The particular kind of tree was requested. Oh, and yellow was requested. And the minute I hear yellow, I always panic, because the first thing that comes to her head is like, neon yellow, no, run away. I'm not a fan of neon yellow, in case you were wondering. And so I sat with it and I was like, okay, so basically this needs to have an energy based in nature. It needs to be druidic and Celtic, so that immediately throws into images, for me at least, trees. And the sacred grove being the grove of trees in which one can connect to one's deity, one speaks to and hears the whispers of the gods through the rustling of the leaves, through the magic of trees. And I knew right from the beginning that I wanted light. And I'm just going to pause the video 1 second and plug it in. Okie dokie, apologies about that. I thought we'd have enough camera time. We don't, because apparently I can waffle for Britain. So I really wanted this to be light, and it was very, very interesting to me because I wanted light. I wanted a new day. That's what this energy of this set is very much about. It's about awakenings, purifications, new beginnings. It's that new light, seeing things in a new way, readjusting oneself, beginning, starting over, but doing so with hope. There's a purification element running through the whole thing, and I think one of the most purifying things you can do in the morning is to watch the sunrise and just have a moment of cleanse and ground in terms of, you know, energy work with the rising of the sun. And it's a very, very potent magic, the beginning of the day, and it's just limitless potential, limitless possibility, starting fresh in this beautiful image of light through the trees. So this is Dawn of Trees, because it then becomes light coming through the trees in a sacred grove. So it becomes the opening up of one's spiritual path. It becomes the opening of one's heart and soul, and healing through that process. It's a very healing set. So whereas before we were talking about Dawn Hunter with Diana, and that was very wild and very running in the forest and very much about movement, this is about the light filtering through trees. This is about a very, very calming, gentle energy. It's very, very ethereal and sweet almost, but it's not sweet in icky terms. It's just warming in terms of an energy. It's that gentle, warming light of dawn, and coupling that with tree energy, so it is grounded and it keeps you safe and it keeps you protected, and it just has this incredible, I love this set to the point where I may well make myself one, and I will likely put this back on the store in some form or another soon, because it's just, it's so calming and relaxing almost, and it just wraps you in this warmth and just says, you know, everything's going to be okay, everything is going to be beautiful. And it's about the new light as well, so you can see things through different eyes. You can see wondrous things instead of hardship. You can see how you can go on, how you can grow, how you can touch the divine, how you can be the best version of you. So it lights up. It's almost like a guiding warmth. It's very warm. It's I love it. So we'll focus on the individuals. So we're moving everything again. Boo! Right, okay. Herbally, blendy, blendy. Herbally, blendy, blendy is very much focused on scent. There are three different types of resin within this. It's very much about, I mean, it actually looks like light, so that I was a little bit worried at first that the visual of it was going to be a little bit too off compared to the rest of the visual. Didn't happen that way. The visual worked really well. And this is very much about the purifying element. So the herbal blend, more perhaps than any of the other items, focuses on the purity and the purification process. This is very much a herbal blend that smells divine. It smells perfect. It incorporates one of the requested trees that was requested to go into the set, which is actually a familiar vein which goes all the way through and ties the song, ties the harmony together through the energy. And the herbal blend is just, you know, to be burnt on a charcoal disc. It's very, very resin based, this one, so it definitely is for burning, this one. And it's just that breath, that uplifting breath, that, oh, and that feels better, you know? And it brings in the energies of trees like the whole set does. And I'm a huge fan of trees, and, you know, druidic nature being the language of the trees, the druidic language of the trees being Ogham, and the magic of the trees being very druidic focus. And nature, of course. But in our set, we're talking tree. I will refrain from trying to talk Entish on video, because I was very, very tempted then. Right, okay. Baradum. No, stop it. Okay, and then we have the spell oil. This is light in a bottle. This is dawn in a bottle. And this is dawn of the trees in a bottle, because this is very much about the light coming through the trees. And whereas the spell oil for the other dawn set was very much about movement, you shook it up and it was suddenly like wham! This is peeking through. This is the sun goddess shifting the little tree branches aside and peeking her head through, and taking everything in. That's what it feels like to me. Like the goddess just moving the trees over slightly, and having a look, and having a glimpse, and having a feel, and just bringing her warmth and her love and her purity of essence into the world. It's a a little bit fun, but not to the detriment of anything, you know. It's the goddess's sense of humour in a way, and it's a little bit lighter. Can you see how it looks like the parting of tree branches here? I think it does. It's lovely. I love this. This will have a charm on, by the way. I haven't put the charm on yet. And yeah, that's just me being... Oh. Right. So these are the pillars. I'll just show you that there are two, and then I will focus on this one because it's that one over. Right, so can we zoom in? Can you see the sunburst of the sunrise? It's so beautiful. You could almost scry in the top of this. And then I hope you can see all the little herbs in this particular one. They all floated within the wax so beautifully that you can see them at little points. You see these little dark points? That's all the little dark herbs. And then you've got fey ring around the bottom. I was like, I love it when it does that. It doesn't always do that. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's like, well, extra treat for you. And I'm like, wow, I love it when it does that. I'm just like, oh, I love it. And it's done it on both. You can see all the, this is the other one. So you can see all the little herbs that are floating like little drops of sunlight through, and then a ring around the bottom. I love it. And it's very much about sun energy. Oh, they smell nice as well. It's very much about that warmth, that purity of purpose, that light, that dawn, that connection between... Do you know what it is? I'm trying to say very ineptly is it's very much about life force. And if you think about the relationship between trees and light, they require light to live, and we as human beings require light to live, and it helps with the photosynthesis in trees, not in humans. And it's their food, their fuel, and that's what this is very much like. It's like, remember that you've got everything you need, and you can be whoever you want to be, and you've got it, you have it. And remember to stay lighter and joyful and playful, but you know, and purify out as well. Get rid of anything that's harming and hurting and icking. Just bring that joy in, and you're going to be fine. That's what this is all about. Right, so we'll go with this particular votive. There are 4. I'm just going to focus on this one for the minute, because otherwise this video will be too long. Right, so the votive is again very much like the pillar, but a little bit more with that specific flower. So, and the lady knows what I'm talking about, because I went and got a specific kind of flower for this set, which is in the votive and the oil in particular. So again, we have the rays of the dawn. Again, we have a colour gradient going through. Again, we have the fairy ring. Look, there's a fairy ring at the top. You've got some serious fey-like energies moving through this set as well. Look at that. And this is all within the wax. So if I do that, it's still there. You can see it's down in the bottom. And it's all a gradient of light. It's very much about light. The whole set was trees, light, druid, hope, joy. And that's exactly where I went with it. So I hope you like it. I'm going to get the pictures done probably tomorrow. Running around like crazy at the minute, but I wanted to get this done. I wanted to get this video done for you. I wanted to talk about it, and hopefully you're as excited as I am, because I love it so much. I want one, and that might be my weekend, is like trying to sneak one in for me. Like, have I got time to sneak myself one? Make one for myself, that is. So yeah, so this is Dawn of the Trees, as well, of course, Light of the Stars, Child of the Stars spell orb, and the protection sachet. Okay, that's it for this video. Many blessings.